Hello, my name is Eric Charles Bartholomew. I'm a traditional grainer and marbler going back several generations. I'm now going to show you the 12 different finishes that we're going to be covering in this particular video. All these methods are traditional. Cracked ice or bagging. Colour washing. Traditional rag rolling. Stippling. Traditional drag finish. Rubber combing. Elegant Shan Kid. Mottling or herringbone. Soft shades of Tiffany or broken colour finishes. Stenciling. I'm going to show you, which is in the blue. We put it on the wall exactly the same as we have for the other techniques. Little top tip: if you're doing a large wall, we always carry mutton cloth or stockinette with us. If you're doing a large wall, you find that you dry brush, you remember I said about the dry brush, it clogs up, it gets a lot of colour in it. So what we do is, because when you pull it down you can't lose the colour because you've got too much colour in this one. So literally just work your brush out on a piece of rag. That keeps it nice and dry. Okay? It's the same with the sponge. I mean, this method we're going to have to use a sponge. You're doing large walls, you get a residue build up in this. You just literally squeeze your rag, the sponge with your rag, and look, you see you get a lot out. And that keeps it nice and even. Now I'm just going to quickly roll this. Now this rubber combing, there's two ways of doing this rubber combing. There's freehand and there's with a stick. I personally prefer to do it freehand because, let's face it, if for instance it's perfect, then it doesn't look as if it's artistically been done, me personally. But what you do is you have a stick, but what you do, you put two little noggins on the end. One's fallen off but you can still see the nail there, and then what that does is when you put that next to the work that you've finished, it protects it. You see, it doesn't harm the work, you see, as you go across. So some people like to use this method. Me personally, I like to use freehand. For you ladies or people with small hands, I've got large hands, but you have to control it. This is the actual commodity we're using, and sometimes you can't get it even because you've got to get it on the flat tip. You have a wedge shape here. It's the sharp edge of the wedge shape that goes on the wall, not the other way around, otherwise it will run on the sides. Now again, we always keep a piece of rag with us, okay? And now, so to keep it even, if you've got small hands, or you ladies, especially ladies, and that's no disrespect to ladies, you use a piece of timber at the back so that when it hits the wall it spreads evenly. Okay, I don't need to do that because I've got big fingers, but it's just a little top tip for you. And you start in one corner, okay, and you notice that there's a small little niblet to a large wedge, and what you've got to do, you must balance yourself. You get yourself balanced, like a boxer or a snooker player, they balance themselves. It's the same in this. You have to get yourself balanced, feel comfortable. And I actually have done large walls with this particular method. But it does look lovely below the dado. Now, you put it above the work, and then you just get it on the edge, and you just literally, naturally drag it through. Once you've started, you mustn't stop. You must go right to the bottom. There we are, like that. That's the first one. And then you put your smallest wedge up against the largest and use that as your template to follow through. These techniques are getting slightly harder as we progress, but then that's the idea, isn't it? If we find that we have a little bit of, say, a little bit of dust on the wall, then what we do is we just literally wrap a piece of rag around a stick or something and just tidy them up when we've finished the whole project. Because you do get them. If you get dust on this work, which you do because it's always in the air, don't worry about it on any of the techniques. What it is dust in the air, it settles on it. The next day when the surface is dry, you can just take a duster, dust it off and it's gone. Okay? Even hairs, if hairs come off or break off the brushes, same principle. Leave it until tomorrow. Slowly, slowly. Right, onto straight the way down. I like that little tiny waver in it. It just shows that it's the pulse of my heart. It's humanly done. And just literally go along your work like this. You have, as I say, about 20 minutes to work, so there's plenty of time. Later on I will be showing you how to do a large wall But that, I digress, is rubber combing.